Miss Aragon here. I'm going to show you guys how to rewind your film and how to take your film and load it into the developing tank. So the first thing you're going to do, I took all 24 pictures on my roll of film, and I can't take any more because if I try to advance this, it feels tight and it will only take more pictures. So what you're going to do is on the bottom of your camera, most cameras have this. If you have a newer, fancier camera, there's got to be a rewind button. If you're not sure how to do it, you could either Google it, like type in Nikon N60 rewind film, and you'll be able to quickly find it, or you can ask me to help you find it. On the bottom of your camera, there's a button. All right, sometimes they're a little black button. This one happens to be silver. You're going to push it. It's called the film rewind release button, and what it does is inside the camera it lets go of the film over here where it's like been like captured. Then you're going to lift up the lever, not the knob, because I don't want you to open the back of your camera. You're going to lift up the lever and rewind your film. You'll feel it be kind of tight. If it's too tight and it won't turn, something's up with the button. You have to push this button first. Don't force your film because you'll rip it. You'll rewind, you'll rewind, you'll rewind until you hear a click. All right, when you hear the click, it means the film is fully rewound and you can open the back of the camera. I didn't actually have a roll of film in here because it's right here. But then you'll take your film will be in there. It might have a little tail, which is okay. It'll be in here. And you'll be able just to pop it out and then close the camera. Once you have your film out, you're going to, inside the bag, this all has to be done inside the bag, you'll take your developing tank, your center column, your film spool, your lid, your funnel, you'll need a one of two, not both, but one of two canister openers and a pair of kid scissors. There are two, and a black bag. There are two zippers on the black bag. The first zipper and the second zipper. All of your stuff goes in the black bag, and then you zip up the first zipper all the way, and then you zip up the second zipper all the way, and all of your stuff is in here, and then you put your arms through these holes. Oh, somebody's trash is left in the bag. You put your arms in the holes, and everything I'm about to show you have to do completely by touch inside this bag. All right, please know that some of my bags are a little older and the elastic is stretched. So never just take your hand out of the bag like this because light can go through. If you have to take your hand out of the bag, have somebody help you to hold the armhole or hold it with your other hand, armhole shut, so that way the light doesn't go through. Also, if for some reason you have to open the bag, and also tying, it's a good idea if you need to come ask me for help. Also, if you're opening the bag and your film is outside of the canister, if you just throw it in here so it's light tight before you take your arms out of the bag, it'll help keep your film from getting exposed. All right, I'm going to show you what you're going to do. So first thing is you have to open this canister. You have to open it inside the black bag using either canister opener. All right, this one I like to use the flat edge, and there's a little metal hook here, and it grips along the bottom part of the lip on the film canister. So I'm going to pull up and turn my film as I'm pulling up, and what happens is it will take off this little metal ring, and you'll be able to pull this out of the canister. All right, this is what your film will look like. I'm going to show you on a different roll of film using the black canister opener. This one's really simple. You just put it on the top with the nub side pointed up. You have to hold with your left hand and pull up with your right. And it essentially does the same thing. You could also do the other side of your canister if you want. This one. Of course, now it's giving me issues. I did this side, so that's what your film will look like. When you take it out of the canister, you want to be very careful to not go ahead and try not to touch it as much as possible. Don't get your grimy fingerprints all over it. So inside the black bag, you'll pull the film out. Remember there's a tab where we loaded it into the camera? You have to cut this off, and you have to do it without without seeing what you're doing, completely just by feeling. Because you want this to be straight across. Then you're gonna take this is the film spool, and how I like to hold it are there's these little, I don't know, they're not really arrows, but that's what I call them. These little things that they come off the thing and they look like arrows. Anyway, I find those with my thumbs, and this is all in the black bag. I find it with my thumbs, and I point the arrows towards me, and then I take the film, the end of the film. Remember, this is the part that was exposed, so it's okay if you touch this part with your fingers. You have to load it into the spool, and I pull it through just a little bit. There are these ball bearings on here, and the film has to go past the ball bearings so that the ball bearings can catch on the sprockets and reel it through the spool. And I'm going to turn the spool back and forth, and as you see, as I do that, it loads the film onto the film spool. When you get to the end, you'll feel it. There's this little plastic piece, and actually mine's like bent at the end. I can feel it's starting to get wonky. So when you get to the end, you can go ahead and, usually it should go all the way to the end. This one is weird. You want to cut off this plastic piece and then spin it just a little bit more. All right, now you're going to put it in your developing tank. So how you do that is you have this little center column. This is really important because it keeps the light from coming in the funnel and exposing your film. So you put it in the spool. You want to make sure that this flat side is pointing in the bottom of the tank, because when we put the funnel in, then the light cannot come out and touch your film. So you make sure that this flat part is in the bottom of the tank. And then you're going to take your funnel, and it goes inside the tank, and you're going to take it and twist it. See, and you should hear it click. Take it and twist it, and then you'll know it's in there, because if you try to pull on it, it won't come out. If your funnel isn't fully inserted in your tank and you go to pour out your developing chemicals, your film gets exposed. So you need to make sure it's clicked into place, and then you'll put your lid on your tank. Okay, there are different size tanks and different size center columns. The funnels and the lids are the same for everything. If you are developing 2 rolls of film, say you have a buddy, you might use this double tank that fits 2 rolls of film, like this. And it's the same process. If you are a single person and you're using a double developing tank, just make sure that your film is on the bottom. You can even put an empty one on top just to make sure that it stays on the bottom, so that way the chemicals fully cover your film. All right, I'm going to show you guys where to find these supplies and where to put them away when you're done. Your trash, obviously, this is all trash, would go in the trash can. But these things go in the dark room, and I'm going to show you where. Come with me. Remember, you can find kid scissors. They usually live right here. They're not right there right now. Oh. This is the developing room. In the first drawer is where you can find the canister openers. You can also leave scissors here. In the second and third drawers is where the black bags live, the changing bags. Up here is where the tanks go. The center rods go here. The funnels go over here. The lids go right here. That doesn't go there. And the spools go right